Well, hello. Today is Thursday, February 25th, and we do have a birthday today. Today is Roberta Cook's birthday. Okay, Roberta, I'm curious. Do you go by Roberta, or do you go by Bobby, or Robbie, or Robin, or Roberta? Oh, I already said Roberta. My sister-in-law's name is Roberta, and she goes by Birdie, B-I-R-D-I-E. I'm just kind of curious. But anyway, you get a song. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Roberta. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. See, I got a green band on, but I should have gotten like a yellowish band probably. I don't know. My jeans are green. That's why I picked the green. Oh, I'm like Mr. Green Jeans on Captain Kangaroo. Anyway, enough of the silliness. It's also Stephanie Ross Brown's anniversary, along with her wife, Virginia. It's their 4-year anniversary, so they get a song. Happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary. Happy, 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 happy anniversary. Happy, 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 happy anniversary. Well, happy anniversary. And while I'm sending congratulations out, I want to send a big old congratulations to Sparkling Susan. She's started a new job and she's keeping her weight in check. So that's good. I started checking on some videos today and I watched Joan's Pointed Plate. She's had 4 weeks of a loss. I'm jealous. I'm very jealous. But you know what? She's been putting the hard work into it. I can't really compare myself because I've really only put a week's worth of work into mine. But she's living proof that if you're persistent, you can lose weight. Four weeks in a row she's lost weight, so she's doing good. And Lainey over at Lainey's Life just let everybody know she's moving to Illinois. I'm wondering what part of Illinois. Chicago's only 5 hours from me. So we'll see how close she's going to be moving. Looking forward to the nice weather because Sue Slims Down and Sparkling Susan said they're going to come. We're going to have lunch. Be so nice just to see other people. It'd be just so nice to get out, in all honesty. And then I got a text today that they've scheduled my second appointment for my COVID vaccine. So it's on March 16th at 12:30. I also have my yearly physical on that same day at 2:30. And so I'm thinking that last time, by the time I got in and out, it was like almost an hour. By the time, you got to fill out your paperwork, and then you got to wait, and then you got to wait the 15 minutes and that. So that brings it to 1:30. My doctor's office is only about maybe a half an hour from there. So once I leave there, I'll just go to my doctor's office for my physical, my yearly physical, because it's actually going to be an in-the-office visit. So I'm thinking, oh my gosh, that's pretty good. And then I got in the mail today a bill. Of course, you always get bills in the mail. But I had probably at the beginning of January, I had a bladder infection, or urinary tract infection. So I had called my doctor to ask her if she would prescribe me an antibody. And since it was the beginning of the year, I have to meet a $300, which I'm not complaining because a lot of people have way bigger deductibles than I do. Trust me, I know that. But we have a $300 deductible that we have to meet. And she was on the phone with me, and it wasn't a telecall. It was just like I called the office, they connected me to her, and I realized I got to pay for her time. I understand that. $75. I'm in the wrong line of work. $75 for answering the phone. But she prescribed the medicine that worked, and so good things, bad things. You got to look at both sides. The good thing is she prescribed a medication and it worked. The bad thing is now I got to pay $75. But my insurance was pretty good, so I think the prescription cost me like 75 cents or something like that. It was like nothing. So, but it was worth the money. When you have a urinary tract infection, any amount of money you're going to pay for something to get better, it's going to work. It's going to help you out. That's for sure. And then Jim and I worked on the puzzle. Oh my gosh, we are making tremendous progress. Here, I'll show you how much progress we're making. Well, I do think we're making progress from yesterday. See, Jim was working on this area, so he's got this. I finished the dog's head, most of Santa. He's driving me crazy. I got his legs started down here. And then what else did I get done? This is the little piece of the nose that Jim found of the dog. I couldn't find that piece forever. I was looking. And then I got this rug done. And then I got a couple of these pieces connected. It's taken us a while, but we're going to get it done. That's just from yesterday. I think we're doing pretty good. Jim works on his side, I work on my side, and then the two meet together. Because he was working on the chair. I think I told you that. He was working on the chair, and I'm working on Santa Claus. And the one dog was driving me crazy, and he found the one piece while I was folding the laundry, because I did laundry today. And when I came back in, he says, "Oh, I found the piece there." And I go, "Why didn't you put it in?" He says, "That's your dog." So, popped my piece, and that was good. And then I was looking at some of the pieces he was hoarding, and they were part of the rug that I needed. So it was just, sometimes when you're working in tandem, it's kind of hard. But, you know, we are a good team. 50 years, good team, I'm telling you. Well, actually, it's been 54 years. We met in 67. So we've been together a long time. When Jim was in the service, he had got drafted, and he went in. And just before he got drafted, we were talking about getting married. We were talking about it. We had just got out of high school. How old was Jim when he got drafted? He was 19. But Jim's a year older than me. So was it 19? He went in 69. Oh, he was almost 20, now that I'm thinking about it. He went in June 24th. And he would have turned 20 on October 11th. Yeah, that's how that worked. So we have been talking, because I was 16 when we met. I was 16, but I wasn't going on 17 because I just turned 16. And Jim was already 17. And so we had been dating at that point like 3 years. And so we were seriously talking about getting married. And then he got drafted. And we both thought really that, you know, because it was a scary time and that, and we didn't want to commit to anything serious because he knew he was going to be going off. And so we decided that we were going to be together, but we weren't going to be together, if that makes any sense. We knew that we were going to still date each other and we were going to get married, but we figured this was like our hall pass to do what we wanted to do in the meantime. And if we got serious with someone else, then obviously that meant that it wasn't meant to be. But we were really sure that we were meant to be. So we didn't really enter into it with any kind of great expectations of finding somebody else, but just having a good time while the other one was gone. We still wrote letters back and forth. Jim and I wrote to each other every day. It seemed like he came home on leave every weekend because he never got sent overseas. He was always in the States. And so, I mean, we did see each other a lot. But anyway, I used to go camping with his family. They had a trailer, and then they had a tent. And Bertie and his sister Barb and I used to sleep in the tent. And then we would, his parents would say, you know, it's time to go in, and we'd go in the tent. And then once we thought that his parents were settled in the trailer, we took off, and we went everywhere. And we used to go to Canada. Back then, you just got on the ferry and went right across back and forth. You didn't have to worry about showing any papers or anything. And Bertie was dating the guy that operated the ferry. His name was Tim, and not so much dating, but you know, like she was enamored by him, I guess. Oh, that's a big word. That's an old time word, enamored. Nobody says that now. Boy, I'm showing my age when I say that. But anyway, while we were there, I met one of the park rangers, and his name was Jim, and so we didn't date, but we were kind of like when we snuck out, we did, you know what you do. I don't need to explain it. I don't need to draw you a picture. But, and I was feeling kind of bad because then Jim's mom had said, well, you know, like we're going to leave, I don't know, like on Friday or Saturday, and we're going to drive down to Kentucky and we're going to go see Jim because he's got a pass or something like that. He had already graduated, but he was still at Fort Knox. And so I had to tell Jim, the park ranger, well, I got to go. I'm going to go see my boyfriend. And he says, your boyfriend? And I go, oh, didn't I mention I had a boyfriend? And he says, no, you never mentioned you had a boyfriend. I said, well, you know, we're serious, but we're not engaged. And, you know, I do have his ring, but we're dating other people. And he says, oh, well, as long as he knows. And I go, no, he knows we're dating other people. And so I was feeling kind of bad until I found out that Jim, and Jim and I were off alone. We were talking and that. And he said, I know that we said that we were going to meet other people and we were going to go out. And I said, so I said, did you find somebody that you're going out with? And he goes, well, I don't know. Or did you find somebody you're going out with? And I go, well, I'm not going out with somebody, but like at the park, let me get the phone. Telemarketer. But anyway, I said, no, at the park, I'm just when I go out with Bertie and Barb at night, when we go over to Canada back and forth, I've been seeing the park ranger. And he says, oh, okay. And I said, why, have you seen somebody? And he goes, well, when I'm going out with my buddies, I met a girl at the bar that I've been kind of seeing. And I go, oh, okay. I wasn't jealous, and neither was he, because we kind of knew. We just kind of knew that was going to happen. And so I says, well, do you mind if I ask you what her name is? And he says, you're not going to believe it. And I went, what? And he says, her name is Sandy. And I go, oh my gosh. He says, what's so funny? And I said, the park ranger's name is Jim. He says, well, that way we'll never get confused in a moment of passion. We'll even say the right name. I go, that's so true. But anyway, I just thought that was ironic that we both were doing it. And then, obviously, we ended up getting married. We got engaged. Once we got engaged, we stopped seeing other people. Because, that's just what you do. That's the right thing to do. But, that made my decision all that much more sure. Because Jim is really the only boy or man or whatever, at the time he was a boy, that I ever really seriously dated. When I was in junior high, I went out a couple times with somebody named Bobby, and I went to the show once with a kid named Richard, and I had a couple dates, but Jim was my first serious boyfriend that I ever had, and so I just knew. Although, do we all know, Chuck Cybeck, look what you missed. You could have had me, Chuck. You could have had me. But Chuck didn't know I existed. That was really the only one, and that was way before Jim. But once I met Jim, but obviously I still remember Chuck Cybeck, don't I? I think we all have that one person that we remember from when we were in high school or junior high, or somebody that we just had a crush on. Who's yours? Who's your crush? Who was your junior high or high school or even elementary school crush? Because I'm sure we've all had one that we just were so enamored by. One of the boys that I really liked, his name was Rick. And he ended up working with my mother. And then my mother really liked him too. But then we found out he was like a mama's boy, and he did everything his mother told him. He didn't do anything on his own. So I lucked out on that one. But anyway, but on to what we're going to talk about today. Because today we're going to say that we're going to stop waiting for everything to happen. I have been waiting how many years? Oh, one of the things that Joan pointed, which I'll talk about tomorrow because that's the meeting highlight thing, it was your non-scale victories. One of my major non-scale victories, which is that I've stayed on this plan for 4 years. This is the longest I've ever stayed on some kind of a diet of any kind. But, and I don't even know what made me think that this was the time, because there's really no perfect moment. This is like you wake up and say, this is the perfect moment, this is the day, this is the time, this is when I'm going to do it. No, I think it just kind of, all of a sudden something hits you and you just realize, this is the time. Is it really the perfect moment? It might be, I don't know. But for me, I really didn't have a perfect moment. But it was a good moment. It was a good thought. Really, when I joined, I wasn't really joining for me. I've told you that. I didn't really think I was that overweight. I knew I was overweight, but I never knew I was so fat. And then when I look back at the videos of myself when I first joined Weight Watchers, I mean, who is that person? How could she have, in all good conscience, joined Weight Watchers and thinking she wasn't doing it for herself? Because I wasn't doing it for myself. But I think through the whole 4 years, I really believed in myself. I mean, I've had my doubts along the way. I mean, we all do. I always say we all, but I think I speak in general, that we all kind of have that one, I don't know, can I really do this? But I really think if you believe in yourself, no one else is going to believe in you if you don't believe in yourself. You really don't. Sometimes you can try something and somebody will say, she's never going to do that. And maybe you don't succeed. But at least you tried. At least you tried. My sister Denise, we all love her, but we all like to tease her. And she's the first one to tell you. My sister Denise has no problems trying something out. She was a mail person, she was an insurance agent, she worked at a clothing store, she worked at a fabric store. She's tried selling Pampered Chef and Sensei and Young Living, I think it is, those oils and essential oils. she never gives up. And you know what? I believe in her. I believe that she's going to find it. And for 66 years, well, she's 10 years younger than me. So probably when she was about 30, so but for the last 30 years, she's been trying to find me a hobby. And she's like, look, she tried to get me to sew. She tried to get me to, whatever. And she put me onto YouTube, and now I have a hobby. And I love it. I love it because I'm such a ham. I'm such a ham. But all I can tell you is, don't wait for the perfect time. Don't wait for don't wait until Monday. I did that so many times in my life. I'm just going to wait till Monday. And then I did so much damage between whatever day it was and Monday, thinking that on Monday I was going to start a diet, that I probably only stayed on for maybe a week, a month at the most. 4 years. 4 years I've been on this. And some people will say, my gosh, Sandy, you've been on it 4 years and you haven't lost any weight? You haven't lost all your weight? Yeah, but I've been on it 4 years. I've lost almost 90 pounds, and I've kept 90 pounds off. Now, how many people can say that? How many people can say that they went on a diet for 4 years and kept the weight off? I mean, I know I fluctuate up and down about 10 pounds, but you know what? I'm still proud of the fact, because my best loss was 95.2, or 95.6, or 95.4. 95.4 was my best loss, 95.4. So I'm like right around 6 pounds off from that, but you know what? 4 years of doing this, I figured out something. And I've come to the determination that there's 2 chances in life that you can do something. It's either now or it's later. And let's face it, I don't have that much later left. I'm hoping to live another 20 or 30 years. I'm not saying that. But if you're like 30, 40, even 50, now is the time, not later. I kept thinking, I got time. It wasn't until I was 66 that I realized it's either now or later or never. And never entered into my mind. So let's do it. Let's do this. I am hoping for a good weight loss tomorrow. I'll take whatever I get. I'm hoping that my body doesn't come back to haunt me, because last week, remember, I told you I had a 0.2 gain, and I was all excited that it was only a 0.2 gain. And I know I don't like saying the word only, but you know what? It was only a 0.2 gain. But I know from my past experiences that sometimes it takes a week or two to catch up. So I could have a really good week, which I have had. I have to say, an excellent week. Since Ash Wednesday, I have been perfect on plan. Perfect. And that's hard for me to admit, because a lot of times I kind of stray off. I didn't snack in between meals not one time. I didn't go over my points not one time. I didn't have any sweets of any kind during that time. And if I don't have I'm hoping for a big loss. But you know what? If I don't have a loss, or if I have stayed the same, or if I just have a small loss, I'm going to chalk it up to the fact that I should have had a bigger gain last week. And that next week's going to be the true meter of how well I've done this week. Because I do plan on doing this for another week. I think you just got to get over that first week hump. And I think I've done that. So anyway, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe, leave a comment, hit that like button, and share it if you think somebody might like to see it. My hands are itching. What does that mean? Oh, I'm going to come into some money. Yeah. No such luck. Okay, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Stay safe.